heard so often from you and from other leaders in the diaspora that there is a need for Western support for ordinary Iranians. But I think for many in the West, the question becomes, well, what does support look like? Aside from the terrorism designation for the IRGC, you want money, weapons? Should there be military intervention? How does a Washington or Ottawa or London or Paris support the movement?
Nobody talked about military intervention in this revolution. What Iranian people say, they just want the European countries and the democratic countries to stand out of the way, to not help Iranian Islamic regime anymore. That's what they ask for. Well, we had some requests out there about expelling the ambassadors of Islamic Republic to send a strong political message to them that they can't act like that. They can't like crack down this kind of movement with this brutality. But you know, we have had other requests too to send back the oligarchs related to Islamic Republic. But so far we haven't seen much being done, and there are things that they can do and they avoid to do, and we don't really understand that. They want to sit on the negotiation table and speak with Iran, and this is not acceptable.
Over the course of the most recent protest movement that we've covered extensively and we've spoken to you about, you've become one of the faces and the leaders of this protest movement, as has so many others that we've spoken to, like Nazanin, like Masih, like Reza Pahlavi. Like, some of you all are really the pillars of this movement. And this was uniting so many Iranians. But increasingly, Hamid, we are seeing cracks in that unity. This was a powerful image, all of you together, along with Karim Sajadpour, who we also spoke to during our special coverage a couple of weeks ago. So you've got this incredible leadership. But there are cracks because there's a lot of division amongst the diaspora about who should be leading a future Iran and what the future of Iran should look like. Talk to me about that.
Natasha, I think that the main voice comes from inside Iran. We need the revolution to be happen in Iran. And it's very important to listen to the Iranians inside the country and to the Iranian activists inside the country that they have spent like a lot of time, years.
So what are they telling you? I'm so sorry to interrupt, but if we listen to the people inside Iran, what do they want?
You know, they basically say they're under too much pressure that they can't act freely to get united and against the regime. So they basically want to see something happening out of the country to bring people together, not to lead, to like fix these cracks in the diaspora or different political beliefs. In my personal belief, we, you know, the names that you brought up, like me, Masih Ali-Nejad, Ms. Nazanin, and Mr. Pahlavi, and others, we have our duties to try and bring different ideas together. It's a very, you know, the diversity is one of the elements of this movement, and all of us, we need to respect that and bring the different ideas together, agree on some basic principles and move forward.
Then, Hamid, let me present to you a specific concern that at least we are hearing repeatedly through our coverage, which is there's concern about Reza Pahlavi specifically, in that he may be a progressive individual, but what he represents is a monarchy. And that has really divided so many in the diaspora that, no, we don't want to go back to the Shah and to a monarchy situation. We want an elected official. And so, and what his family represented, and perhaps that's unfair to pin on him what his parents represented, but certainly that concern is there specifically amongst those who are ethnic and religious minorities in Iran. Are you cognizant of that concern? And if so, how are you all trying to address it?
You know, what I see, it has been 115 years that the Iranians are fighting for democracy. It hasn't started 5 months ago. It hasn't started 44 years ago. It has started 115 years ago. And I think if we can reach to an agreement about the charter, about the principles that we need a secular democratic Iran in future, and other principles, we need to respect the diversity, we need to think about integrity of the country at the same time that we are talking about decentralization of the power. I think these things can bring people together and lots of concerns can go away that way.
Okay. Good luck tomorrow in Brussels. Hamid Esmailion, always a pleasure to speak with you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.